It's all we're not even that good, so.
Hello, how are you?
People are mad about it.
Yeah. Captain Alfred.
I would have never thought about what you pointed out, how it gets tracked and
Yeah.
Like-
Well, I think they have. I mean, like, I don't recall. I think it was kind of a public
Well,
service
that's-
announcement.
We should do the pledge, right?
No, public hearing.
now we public hearing
You don't
first.
do that stuff?
No.
We'll
Seems
Start
official.
start the meeting.
It sounds official.
Well, it's all official.
All right, good evening and welcome to tonight's public hearing, March 18th, 2024. This hearing is called by the Select Board to provide information and allow public comment regarding the franchise ordinance amendments. Copies of the proposed ordinance amendments are made available to the public. Please note that this is not in regard to the franchise agreement. With us here tonight to help answer questions is Tony. Before we begin, I'd like to start off addressing some general housekeeping during the public hearing. Public members will be called upon by the board, so each individual who wishes to participate may have the opportunity to do so. When called upon, please step up to the podium, state your name and your town of residence, maybe where you live. We ask the audience members be respectful when a public member is addressing the board and keep all side conversations out of the public hearing. Any individuals being continuously disruptive may be asked to leave the public hearing. Thank you all for attending tonight's meeting. The floor will be now open to public comment.
Nope. Joe Wagner, 26 Day Road, Lyman. The only question I have about the proposed ordinance is a reference to a franchise fee. Does this require a franchise fee to be imposed? Or is, it does not?
Provides for the town to be able to, if they vote.
Am I misunderstanding that this, if the town did not, would the service provider still have the opportunity to add that to the bill? No. Okay. Thank you very
If
much.
the town requires.
I see. All right, thank you.
Any other further comment? All right, if there's no further comment, this will conclude the public hearing. The board will now close the public hearing and open into regular select board meeting. Thank you all for attending. All right, with that said, okay. Welcome to the March 18th, 2024 regular meeting of the Lyman Select Board. This meeting is a public proceeding and is being recorded. Would you all join me in the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna make a motion that we take item number 5, letter A, franchise agreement out of order.
I'll second that.
For the sake
All
of
right.
Tony's time.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So we have, I don't know if anybody has anything he wants to jump in on, or we have our updates from Brad.
Yep.
Tony, did you have any updates on like the law changes?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, friends. Good to see you all again. Tony Vigil, Town of Standish. I've been retained by the town of Lyman to help with their franchise renewal contract for some of you who may be new to this. This has been a long process. Charter isn't the easiest company to deal with, and we've been back and forth many times and finally arrived at a contract that we believe serves the town well. And we're very close to concluding that contract. However, there's been a new Maine law passed, which I was instrumental in helping to get passed. It's called an Act to Support Municipal Franchise Agreements, LD 1967. It had the backing of Maine Municipal Association, the Maine Attorney General's Office, the PUC, the Maine Broadband Coalition, and the Maine Connectivity Authority, to name a few. We tried to get every department in the state that had anything to do with telecommunications to review this bill and add their comments or changes if they had any, and there were some changes. The bill was passed by both houses. It was also passed by the Energy Utilities and Technology Committee, and the governor let it pass without her signature. The bill takes effect 90 days after the end of this session. This session will conclude March, April. Anyway, 90 days after that comes to about July. So that's when the bill actually takes effect. And what that bill does, actually I can read to you just the highlights from the Maine Municipal Association legislative bulletin that they published about the bill. It maintains local control. Municipal control over the commercial use of the public right-of-way is retained. It establishes a dispute resolution process, which we never had before. If there's a dispute between the town and the cable operator, there's a process now to get that taken care of. Has guaranteed build-out provisions in the bill. They have to build out if there's 15 homes per mile or more, with no preconceived conditions. In other words, they can't say, you got to sign a 2-year contract before we'll build out. Those are the kinds of things we protect against. There's an upgrade cost savings, and what that means is if the town already has equipment in place to televise their municipal meetings, and you sign a new contract, and in that contract you find that you need to upgrade that equipment, you can require a capital grant from the cable operator to purchase that equipment with. Some of that equipment is owned by the cable operator, and they're responsible for any technical upgrades to that equipment. Recently, they balked at doing that, and they wanted to shift that cost to the towns. In the past, they've always upgraded it when it went from analog to digital, for example, or when the equipment failed, the cable operator would replace it. That's basically the transmitter that's at the town office that transmits the signal back to the cable operator's head end. This bill prevents them from transferring that cost to the town. It maintains your public education governmental channels, if you have any, on the cable system, which you folks don't have yet. That's a decision you'll make at some point. It corrects errors in the existing law. There was a statement in the existing law, a paragraph that said that cable contracts in Maine could be non-exclusive. And that's not true. I'm sorry, they said it had to be exclusive, and that's not true. It can be non-exclusive, which means the town is able to go get contracts with any number of companies, not just one. So that corrects that error in state law. It also expands consumer protections, a number of places, I won't go into that. If you require a franchise fee, and that again is a decision to be made by the town, there's no law that says you have to, no law that says you don't have to, it's up to you. That's usually established by a needs assessment process that the town undertakes to determine whether or not this is the will of the people. But anyway, in the past, they have paid franchise payments to the town on an annual basis. And what this means is the town requires this rental fee from them for using the public right of way. That's what a franchise fee is. And the cable companies were collecting it from the customers on their bills and keeping it in their bank account for a whole year, earning interest, okay, before they paid it to the town. So now it requires them to pay to the town on a quarterly basis, so the town can earn the interest on that income. There's no loss of the right-of-way rental fees. So this is the franchise fee. It doesn't go away. It's there if the town wants to use it. We liken it to the use of a public park or a municipal stadium. If an entity comes in and sets up their equipment in that area that belongs to the public and they sell their products, the town has a right to have a contract with that company and charge them rental fees for the use of that space because it belongs to the public. And as I've said before here, it may be the dusty side of the road where the pole lines go, but it still belongs to the public. Phone and power don't have to have a contract with the towns because they're regulated by the PUC. Cable companies are not regulated by the PUC. So that's why the towns have this ability to charge a rental fee if they want to for the use of public right of way. And unfortunately, instead of treating it as a normal course of business, a rental fee, the cable operators in turn have decided to pass that cost directly on to their subscribers. So that's why it appears on everybody's bill. And that's just the way they operate. So that's a story. What this does tonight, what we're working on tonight is the ordinance, which is required by state law for a town to have in place before you have a contract or a contract renewal, in this case, with the cable operator. It sets up the parameters for the contract agreement that you're going to have, the franchise agreement. And I've been working with Brad on this. This certainly is a much simpler one than some of the ordinances I've seen. Some of the earlier ones had lots of fines and penalties in them for non-compliance. Cable companies hate that, of course, and they'll fight you tooth and nail for it, drag things out. So we made this as simple as we could. Now that we have this law in place for an arbitration and mediation procedure through the PUC, we don't expect to have to fine and penalize them for anything. Of course, there's a bond that you folks can have. That's part of the contract. If they mess up your streets or sidewalks and don't make it right, and you have to go in and do it, then you can collect from that bond. That's still protected. So that's basically it. I gave you a lot of information in a short time. I'm happy to take questions if you have any.
I don't have anything. I think you were very clear. And you read all the information that was given to us on this ordinance. How long has this been in the process?
Too long?
I don't want to hear too long. I want to know.
I don't know.
You don't
4
remember?
years.
Before me.
So long you don't
Before
remember?
me.
4
Okay,
years, yeah.
thank you. I appreciate your time
It
and
also,
effort.
it also changed from Time Warner to Charter Cable. And there was some loss of time, and then there was COVID, which nobody did anything for that year and a half. So, yeah, there's some extenuating circumstances in there. But, questions from the public or?
I think you guys want to like motion to approve the amendment.
So I make a motion that we approve the amendments to the cable television ordinance.
Second,
Any more discussion? All in favor?
All right,
All right.
I'll just add one thing. As a result of this new law, the franchise agreement that we have worked on for the past 4 years will need to be changed to comply with the new law. And I already have a draft of that ready. So I can work on that with Brad so that we're ready when the law actually goes into effect in July. So if you want, I can continue to do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be,
Okay.
that'd be the final one.
Certainly it'll come before you for review.
Awesome. Be the end of it.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Thank you. Thank you all for participating in town government. And I see a lot of you.
Isn't it? I'm happy.
All right, let's move on to item 2AA, I guess we call that. Public input. Anybody in the audience has 5 minutes to address the board, please use the podium. If you have anything to say.
Good evening. Joe Wagner, 26 Day Road. The agendas shown for this meeting posted on the town website are not the same. Under new business on the agenda with the meeting packet, there is no mention of an appointment of a finance and human resources officer. While that shows on as item 7D on the agenda posted under agendas section of the select board.
None of these questions were addressed to me. Was it something you discovered today or a week ago?
It's on the agenda for the select board. That's why I'm addressing the
Right,
select board
but-
about it.
So we've talked about this a lot in the past. Like if you guys have something you want to address, you can always call my office or stop in. and
The discrepancy here isn't the issue. What is the issue is the finance and human resources position. That's what I'm speaking to. While watching the recording of the most recent budget committee meeting, mention was made of blending the town manager and treasurer positions and the creation of a finance and human resources officer. Because the discussion of this proposal was conducted during the budget committee meeting, the possible creation of these positions would seem to be an action that would not take place until the next fiscal year. Also, there was no clear outline of the specific distribution of responsibilities between these two prospective positions. As for blending managerial and financial responsibilities into one position, please consider what is proper in the interests of separation of powers. Regardless of who may occupy such an office, shouldn't there be a reasonable apprehension about combining administrative and fiscal authorities? Also, isn't it clear that the treasurer's current position should focus on the substantial time and energy-consuming burden of depositing and dispersing town revenue and keeping an accurate and reliable account of these actions? It seems that sentiment is expressed in the town charter, which describes the town manager and treasurer positions separately. As for a new human resources officer position, section 4.3 of the town charter, entitled Human Resources and Appointment Authority, assigns human resources responsibilities to the town manager. Section 4.3.4 of the charter also specifies the requisite rationale for creating or consolidating employment positions and sets forth a procedure to do so. Number one, finding a funding source. Two, identifying the salary, wage, or benefits for that position. A job description must be prepared and presented at a regular select board meeting 10 days prior to the posting of a new position or the effective date of the consolidation of positions. The select board is currently, I believe tomorrow you have a workshop, working on reviewing a comprehensive personnel policy. it would be appropriate to consider how many proposed changes in administrative responsibilities would fit into that new personnel policy. For example, in the proposed personnel policy, there is repeated reference to the town manager or designee. The policy should indicate who is eligible for such designation, how that designation is made, and the circumstances and duration of such designation. Before serious consideration, no less action, be given on any proposal to change the structure of the town government and reassign administrative responsibilities, I encourage the select board to consult with Maine Municipal Association, the Maine Town Managers Association, and Town Council for advice and guidance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any public comment? Public input, sorry. Yeah, right. I was reading it, sorry. There's a letter in here from the cemetery committee members.
Can I read that?
Lyman. What's that?
You want me to read that?
That'd be awesome.
If you don't mind,
No,
I would love to.
they-
This is
they're
a
wonderful.
letter from Wayne Perry to the Lyman Cemetery Committee dated March 5th, 2024. Dear Lyman Cemetery Committee members, as one of Lyman's state legislatures, it is always an honor to acknowledge significant achievements in the lives of area citizens. Being a recipient of a Spirit of America Foundation Award is commendable, and I am delighted to have this opportunity to acknowledge your selfless volunteerism and civic involvement. The effort put forth over the better part of 10 years to find, list, and help recover and repair nearly 100 known ancient cemeteries within the town's borders is truly worthy of this accolade. In the event I may ever be of assistance to you in my capacity as a Maine lawmaker, please feel free to contact me. It would be a pleasure hearing from you. Sincerely, Wayne R. Perry, State Representative.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. I, in my wildest dreams, I don't know, 11 years ago, when we formed the cemetery committee, I was on the board when that, and I never in my wildest dreams imagined how far it would go like this. I mean, I am thrilled with the work that they have done personally and as a citizen.
If you really pay attention as you drive around, you see all the small two-stone cemeteries. You're like, what? Why is that there? It just makes you really think of what it looked like back then. Excuse me. All right, let's move on to item 3, review and approve meeting minutes for 3/7/2024.
Abstain.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes. As written.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful.
We do have another thing of business in the mail about the county budget caucus.
This was all one packet. All right, yeah, it's, the caucus to elect municipal and public representatives to the membership on the York County Budget Committee. It's scheduled for Wednesday, April 10th. At 6:30 PM at the York County Government Building in Milford.
Do we have anyone in mind that we would put on the county budget committee? Or is there any citizens that you know of, Lindsay, that would, because I would go and be the caucus person if, I mean, somebody's got to be there to do that. If we have anybody, we should have representation, I would think. I did that at one point.
Just trying to make you volunteer.
It's kind of interesting.
They just started volunteer.
I'll go, but I can't elect myself to the position of budget committee member for the county. That'd be a little harsh, wouldn't it?
Have we had anybody?
Here.
They listed out, but I don't have the letter in front of me.
Yeah, I don't think it.
We don't have anyone.
Yeah, we don't have anyone
No,
currently.
no.
I have an idea for somebody. I just found out about this when I read my stuff.
Yeah.
I won't say here, but I would like to approach her and see if she'd be interested in one of the positions. There's 2 open seats according to what I saw,
Mhm.
4 linemen. But it's part of other towns. I don't know what they, in the
Yeah.
past, there was times I remember that those people got elected instead. So it's hard to say, but I mean, we got a little bit of time to see if anybody's interested. So I'm making a plea to the public right now. If you're interested in being on the budget committee for the county, to please come down and see our town manager.
Now, get a hold of Jared over at Dayton and see if they have anybody that they're thinking, you know.
Yep. So back in the day, I hate harping about 10 years ago, we used to get together with the other towns and hash it out previous to this.
For this one here?
Yeah.
Because I know
The county budget committee.
met with, well, actually, it's in school. It's in school. All the time, it's school. but-
Yeah, we used to do that too.
Yeah, I've done that stuff. So volunteers needed.
Yep.
Thanks,
That's a
Vicky.
fact.
Awesome, thank you. All right, let's move on to item 4, item A. Payroll warrant number 35 in the amount of $28,272.80.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable warrant number 36 for year end 2024 in the amount of $52,132.34.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I just want to point out,
Wait.
municipal solid waste was down a little, but so was recycling. So 990240 for municipal solid waste and $415.35 for recycling. So I feel like we still need to recycle more.
Yeah, some of this I think it's $95 of this warrant is going to my MMA training so I can be in compliance of the charter, and I'm going to the municipal officers workshop on the 2nd of April.
All in favor?
Aye.
Got where we were there. Let's go on to item 5. Going to item B because we dealt with A earlier. Booth repairs.
So I kind of set this up in a line item. Because I think you can remove some of the stuff to take the cost down a bit.
Yeah. You mean like the pine?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
but Michelle did a really good job reaching out and, to these contacts and getting a lot of information from them, so it'll just be up to you guys how you want to proceed.
I was a little taken aback by the lead time on some of these as
Yeah.
well, but,
I'm glad she asked that. It's something I think we overlooked, forgot to ask, but.
They
don't-
open what, the end of May
End of May.
until school starts, but okay.
I would like to reach out to La Rochelle and see what the cost would be for, it says can add 2 windows. He didn't put any extra in the financials of that?
So what he quoted us was a shed with no windows, just a door.
Mm-hmm.
So that would probably be 2 windows one window on each side. And then we would need electrical, I think, hookup.
Well-
I think we could do without insulation or the interior pine, like Rusty and I talked a little bit about that.
I mean-
Because it's so small and,
Well, it wouldn't be too hard to do ourselves either.
yeah.
But I was a little taken aback by the interior pine. I mean, we don't need a Taj Mahal shed at Bunganup.
Right.
I mean, just a little step down from the Taj Mahal. I mean, insulated is great, but not necessary.
Right.
But the windows are most important.
Yeah.
Because the cars are going in,
I had that thought.
gotta be sight lines,
Mhm.
be able to communicate with the people and see them.
Well, just
How do you
ventilation
guys-
for whoever's sitting in there.
How do you guys still feel on like shed happens with the 3 windows? Because I know we talked about having like a camera pointing so we can get, vandalism or anything like that that's coming in.
Mhm.
Meaning the 3,670, because we wouldn't do the other
Right.
things,
Which
not
includes
10,000.
the windows, yeah.
What do you think it would take for the electrical though? That's kind of,
Yeah, where did the electrical numbers come from? Marcel or?
Nope, so they came directly from the contractor.
Oh, okay.
And, obviously we'd have like Marcel inspect it and stuff like that, and that wouldn't cost us anything.
No, it said in here what
Do
it
you
was
know
made
how long
out
your
of.
person- Sorry, I'm gonna just go out of turn here for a second. Sue had sent us an email about another vendor that they had used in Waterboro for the community garden. Do you know what the lead time was on that one, Sue? Do you know what the lead time was on the shed that you all got? 2 weeks.
If they had to build it, if they didn't have it on site already. which
Right.
They get all the time, they quoted us 2 weeks. Our shed was ordered a week and a half ago and it's ready to be delivered.
Yeah,
We're just
so,
waiting for the foundation to go in.
So I don't know if
didn't
everyone
get
saw-
Any of that.
okay, I can forward it. There was an email that was sent with that.
Michelle stopping by tonight or?
No, she's on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, because I had mentioned that same place
They're
where
a
I.
really good company. Everything is solid wood. There's no plywood, there's no particle board. They're built, so they're sturdy.
I bought something from them once before. I mentioned to her the first night we came out, so I don't know if she's reached out to them or they came
Yeah.
back or
I
whatever.
think
But
it's really easy to work with. Deliveries, $200 from Vermont. They're.
Which I don't know how they're making.
They're like $1,000 cheaper than anybody in this area for that shed.
Now, you're saying your email customer built, what, so,
I think it meant custom.
custom.
oh, okay, because I
Yeah,
was
and
thinking,
ours had to
okay.
be custom built because they didn't have any 8x10 on site. We had originally were quoted an 8x8 that they had on site, which is the photographs that I sent you. And then we decided we needed the 8x10, so they built it.
I just sent that to you. I just think it's worth checking with them.
Yeah, especially if we
Yeah.
get it configured the way we want with the windows and the door.
With that turnaround, my
And
concern
that
was it was
turnaround time,
but-
yeah, exactly. I was gonna include that in my,
I'm concerned about the electrical prices. I don't think we're consistent. We have one that has no numbers. These guys have their, well, five.
It's a difference of $600,
$700.
$610.
I'm
Isn't
just
that-
wondering if it's a custom built, so if they don't have like an 8x8 or something similar, is the lead time longer? Do
Well,
you know?
No,
The 8x8 was in stock,
Oh, it was, okay.
so it could be delivered tomorrow,
Okay.
literally,
Yeah,
if they
And
has a
then-
truck to build.
because as far as electrical, I feel like that would be something like, we could get the shed here, we could contract out electrical separate, right?
Yeah,
Have a
and,
wire
and
if we
we,
really
we
need
had
to.
that discussion last meeting about
Might
where
make
it
more
was gonna be, what the condition of the electrical service is now. And I just don't know who looked at it and, what was spec'd out on this. I'd love to have,
So, yeah, no
Marcel get
one,
his
I don't,
eyes on
I
it.
didn't hear anything back. We were trying to figure out like, how does the current shed get electrical to
It
it?
is,
Underground
it has
or-
two conduits that come up out
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
that's right, you
ground,
guys
90
mentioned.
degree. No, we didn't do the walkthrough, it got postponed, that's why I don't have the information.
Hmm.
But I have two, just, I got it on the way by, and there's two, look like 1-inch conduits that come out of the ground and LV into the building. And so it's just a matter of reattaching to those. And I think it would be a custom anyways, because no matter what, we're gonna have to get an electrician to make that connection from the
Yeah.
building to whatever's there.
And
So it
probably
might as well
more
be the same
reasonable for
guy.
us just to do it.
Right, that's what I thought too. I mean,
It's like-
what are we talking? A few
I just-
outlets and, it's.
well, just wanna make sure we have it covered.
Yep.
We talked about the AC that needs to go in, right? We're still putting the AC into
Could we
the,
put it in the wall?
I think we can put it in the wall, but
Can't you get a
Are
window
we
venting
required?
unit? We can get window vented units.
you talk to myself.
I mean, are we required to supply an AC?
Oh,
unit to that?
are we, I don't know.
I don't know if they installed that or if we did, but somebody does sit in that little
Mm.
Yeah.
space
Right.
all day long, all
Yeah.
summer. That's pretty crappy if we
It's
don't,
like
like,
a-
or talk
an
to the
oven.
wire, however that works, but
Give them 3 windows and a door.
we're so nice. There's a landline somewhere over there. I think it might be in the, is it in the manager? The booth?
That's just a phone line. That's-
So where's the trenching need to be done for that? Where,
I'll have to go back. There was a lot of emails back and forth with the phone line because we didn't know it wasn't working for a while. And then we had a technician go out there and he sent some pictures, but I'll have to look back. And he said basically if we can get someone to trench it and have someone put like conduit in there, they can set it up proper, whatever that means.
which we can do, we just need to know where it's coming from, I guess, to plan on.
So I think we should look at this in 2 separate
Mhm.
ways. The shed being the structure of one, and then we're gonna
Correct.
figure out the infrastructure on the other
I
stuff.
think that the shed should be the priority and the rest will come after. It's not that hard to dig a trench. I know somebody with a backhoe.
Everybody's gonna be getting busy.
Town.
I saw it today.
That's
What
what we're-
about, I guess, removing the old shed, right? Because we'll have to disconnect the electricity.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think we should demo that right into the back of my truck. Get rid of it.
Where's Bert? I'm gonna stop talking.
I said the same thing.
Nope. Came out too quick.
I
Sorry,
said that-
friends.
That's the first thing word out
Oh,
of my
wait,
mouth.
did you set it on fire yet, Tom?
Hey,
I
I
didn't say
just
it.
said it once.
Hey, that was, I thought that was a
Get part
couple
of the
times.
light.
Okay, so as far as this
It's
agenda
one
item
fire,
goes,
right.
One fire.
One
What?
fire.
first up shed, are you able to contact that shed company?
Yeah.
And see if they have that. So then do we need to make a motion that, or is it helpful if we make a motion that if that's available, that we proceed with it? That makes sense to everyone?
Well, I don't know.
The money
So
out
it's
of
gonna
capital
come out of
improvement.
capital improvement, so if you wanna say, up to X amount,
Yeah, let me look back at the email I just sent.
I'd be really curious on the size of the windows.
yeah, they look
If
a little
they're gonna-
small.
If they're gonna use that to work out of it, needs to be
Yeah, I think
Not
they should
bad.
need to be a good size, like the proportion of the shed happens
Yeah.
drawing.
Pictures on the agenda, like exactly what they said they would do.
Ken Burke, 994 Farm Road. My question to this is, we're having a hearing sometime this week with, about the YMCA taking over another camp at Kennebunk Pond. I wonder if they think they're gonna leave Buckernut and are gonna go take this camp over itself. And if they are, do we need to spend that kind of money for a building other than for ourselves? Just something. to
So-
think about.
Yeah, as far as I know the Kennebunk Pond is a special camp that's run, it's like in addition to the regular Y camp that they run at Buckernut. It's a focused weeks of like crafts and STEM and survival and different things. So it's not, it's
Not the
different.
same program.
They're contracted
Good point,
anyway
but
with us. We're contracted for them for another 2 years at least.
Till October.
One,
Yeah, this one.
Oh, I thought we just re-upped.
I think we just met with them and talked about
My mistake.
it's not
working
Matt's
together.
program.
I thought we just signed a new contract for 3 years.
I wouldn't speculate, I would just come right out and ask him if you wanted to. I mean, we can
Yeah.
sit here and make guesses all day long.
Somebody will have to sit out there, because if that was the case, we'd have to figure out something else. And it
Yeah.
would probably be something similar, I would think.
Still need room.
But anyways,
All right,
I
so,
think that's a little off topic.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
we'll just wait, no. okay,
Do you want me to ask questions or do you want to approve a certain amount? And I'll figure out what they have available. I think the windows, someone mentioned the window sizes.
Yeah, those are small.
They are kind of small.
And there's only two, so we'd need to add, at least by this picture.
It's up to you guys if you want 3 windows. I know from the last discussion we had,
I think you do.
Well,
we
I
liked
think
it.
you need 3, don't you? Or
It's
at least
nice-
2,
It's
the
nice to
front
have,
and the
let's put it
side.
that way.
But I would
Well,
think
yeah,
you'd
you need
want
one on the side because that's where they
that to do the
pay.
Transaction.
And I
then
would
need
think
to
you
see
would
who's
want-
coming.
Yeah,
So the exit side, maybe not so much, but it's still, you'd like to know who's coming,
yeah.
I would think, who's leaving.
So I think this is more of a custom than it is just getting what's on the lot, just based on the windows alone, right?
I don't think they'll scare them at all.
No, I don't think
Mine, we had a custom building made and they were great.
Yeah.
To deal with, so.
I think we just
I
need to
think we're-
specify the window size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
window
think we
is
should.
the,
I don't even see
Can we
window
get a partner that can
sizes
Help us with that?
in the Hillview mini barn quote. Although the door opening is there, the measurement of the door opening, but not the windows.
Well, does you want to reach out?
Hmm?
Does you want to reach out?
The Hillview one?
Oh, I thought you were talking about this. I don't even know what this stuff is called.
The
Well,
Hillview?
what I was saying is, I like the way the shed of the drawing looks from the shed happens. I like but even though that drawing, it kind of looks like the windows should be a little bit bigger for if they're doing transactions in and out of the window, or are they going outside and meeting the cars? I don't know how they do it.
They gonna need an egress window? I don't know.
I like the
8 by
proportions,
8.
but I think the windows should be a little bigger,
I do too.
or maybe one window
It's
instead of
the-
2.
The
Yes.
booth up in Buckernut,
If you guys,
8 by 8. You
So-
have 3 windows and a door.
there's information right here. It says the standard window sizes in the email, like towards the bottom.
Oh,
I don't, I'm just, it says 18 inches by 27,
Or 24 by 36.
or 24 by 36.
like the 20, yeah. I'd rather go with the bigger one.
All I'm saying is I think we should ask this company if they can do it with that same size window, just because it's a
Yeah.
solid wood shed with a metal roof.
36 inches, you only went to 18 inches.
But since it's not actually used for a shed as much as it's used for an office,
How about if we reach out to Matt and ask him?
Yeah,
Since he's
I
the
think we need
user.
more information. I'm just hesitant to say approve up to a certain amount and then get something here and then have to spend more on adjusting windows or adding things.
so if we
And
look,
I don't wanna like push it off too long that now we're closing our gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait,
But-
the lead time,
But I don't wanna rush and
no.
have to.
Can we
do
reach
something
out
else.
to this, the bargain corner?
would we agree on the larger sized window
I think it needs to
and
be
go
larger
from there?
size.
And that way we're comparing
Yeah.
everything the same? Yeah, exactly that.
Minimally 24, 36.
Do you want 2 or 3? Or a listing of either or, so you can see.
I think it
the
needs
different
3
sizes.
myself.
Either
You got the door
Yeah,
on one
either
end,
or.
and then a window on each side, and then you want a window on the back as well, is that what you're saying?
I would think that you'd want the window facing the road, so you can see traffic coming in. You have your window on your left that you would do your transactions on, your door would be behind you, like it currently is. And there's a window on the right. Is it necessary? Really convenient to see people leaving though.
But you can see the parking lot, so you can also see
Right.
like, is it getting
What's
full?
going
Is
on, yeah.
there-
So I
what's
mean,
going
you need
on?
3 windows.
Okay.
That's how I,
Well,
oh, yeah.
The window needs to slide,
Mm-hmm.
so not.
Up and
Not-
down.
Yeah, not an up and down.
It needs to be big enough for them to be able to
Right,
just put out and talk to people.
that's where
The
the,
windows that are here, they're not big enough.
the big one, the biggest one they have here is 2 feet by 36, but you're only gonna get 18 inches of lift.
And you don't
Yeah, I
really
think
want to
that's-
slide probably, because it would be easier.
Right.
that's what I was-
That's what they have now.
So we need, yeah, right, I did see that
So
today
that's
too.
the
There's a
bigger
slide.
question is, can they do the sliding?
What's the
So,
difference?
yeah.
You need one big one.
It opens and closes,
Orientation.
up, down, this way.
Well,
Look,
how you get in
Think
and
of
out.
like a window.
Like
Yeah.
I would get
Right.
stuck.
Take
That's
that.
what it is.
Hey,
Wax on, wax off, man. I don't know.
No.
it's so
Is
hard. Why is that
someone
so
gonna run
hard?
with this?
What, you know, fun.
Who's- Is this still in Michelle's hands?
I mean, she's out for a bit, so
Okay, yeah, we don't have that luxury.
she tried to take care of this before
Before
she
she
left town. I mean, I can reach out to him and ask him, I'm fine, I just wouldn't table it more than your next meeting, 'cause-
No,
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
we
I-
can
not with those
move it.
lead times.
We wanna make
Do
a
we-
decision,
Like
get
Vicky
on
said,
it.
I can send you, you can, you're gonna, you can do it just as well as I can, but I can give you just a list, and then we can give that list to all of them, so we're comparing apples to apples. It needs to be 8 by 8, 7-foot walls, it needs to have this sliding window here, window here, window here, 3068 door,
Sounds like you know what you're talking about.
asphalt shingles or whatever, I mean, then we
Doesn't it?
can, then we can just kind of give them all the same exact thing, so we know.
Oh, we know
apples
the
to
lead
apples.
time and then we should be able to. pull the trigger.
Yeah, we can do that. I think the reason why we're getting some different visuals is because it's, might be based on what they have available. And so maybe this is like, I don't have a problem doing that, but I think this is kind of based on what they have available.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
And
it
that
in
other
the
stuff,
yard?
they might have to like get it custom built.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if that company in Vermont is able to custom build based on our window specifications,
Mhm.
it's a metal roof then too.
Yeah.
For that price. It's probably a better
Yep,
long-term solution over there.
I think so too.
Okay.
I wonder what that park's gonna look like in 50 years.
Oh boy. Let's not worry about that.
Okay, so that's where we are with that.
Are you gonna get the specs?
I
Are you
will.
gonna do the
I-
specs
I
for
will.
her?
I will, I will throw you off something, she'd probably have something better than I will, but we can compare where they go.
So it's like an office, right? So there should be an egress window in it, I would think.
Yeah, this
We'll
where,
we'll talk to the chief,
Something
we'll look at
happens and they can't get
101
out,
or-
they're gonna need to get a second way out of that.
I'm sure just the size of the windows that are required for what we're doing, I think will meet that egress, but we can make sure that the square inches, footage is right.
Okay, let's move along.
Review personal draft policy, we still have
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right. We'll check that out. Dedication of annual town report.
What's the results of the survey?
So what do you guys think?
What did we do last year? Wasn't it cemetery?
We did the cemetery committee
Cemetery.
last year.
Yep. No,
Is this supposed to be a surprise?
Right.
Yeah.
had to be.
Okay.
So it's your town report. You guys get to decide who you want to dedicate it to. And I think it's nice that we did a survey and got some feedback. So I need to start working on that town report.
Mhm.
So
I
could,
need to know.
I liked the idea of a survey for it. I guess in my mind, I pictured that there would be more, there would have been more interaction about it. I personally don't think that we have to pick just because this had the most votes, this should get it. Since it's up to us, because the one that really stood out to me is the first one.
this one. Oh, other side.
The first
sorry.
one on which
The
side?
first one on the detail.
Mhm.
I mean, they're all great suggestions, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
that one, I just spoke to my heart.
We don't really want to talk about these.
You don't have to plug that in today, like before our next meeting though, right?
This is kind of a, this is give you a.
I'm trying to think. So I have to get it out to the printers. Yeah, you kind of need to decide. So I brought this up back in like
Yeah.
December.
Well, which is why we put out a survey and now we have the results. So.
How do you do it and not announce it? Keep it quiet.
I mean, if you want to like,
Your
you
Has
know,
to
Number
do it,
them.
to do it this way, and we agreed to do it this way, you really can't keep it quiet, we have to
Right.
decide, so
No, you can't.
just say it. What do we-
I
you
don't
know,
think we just say it. I think we just,
well, I was gonna
it's
suggest,
just
you
supposed
know,
to be a surprise.
Can we enter a little ballot, your choice on it?
Or if we just label
my-
them 1 through 10.
I just was saying the same thing, yeah, we just leave
anyways,
it.
my suggestion was gonna be, you have a workshop tomorrow, you know, if you want some time to think about it. My only thing is like, I need time to put together the town report. So as long as I kind of know which direction you're heading in, I can start, you know, so if you need to sleep on it.
I do, I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. And I like.
All right.
It's good.
right? Okay, kick this can.
All right, let's move on. We got the treasurer's report. The Chief's here tonight. Nice.
Wanna let him go first?
Sure, can we jump right in, chief? What's on the page? Come on, nothing good you wanna add?
I only have one thing, unless you have anything for me. And I apologize for not getting it for the agenda. But I do have a invoice that I would like to get paid out of the GMFR Building Capital Fund, and that is to replace 2 relief valves, an expansion tank, and a circulator pump on the boiler of the addition of the fire station. Mechanical Services did that work, and the total invoice was $3,217.55. It's a 50/50 account with the town of Dayton, so that total would be $1,608.78.
And it works well now?
Well, we got one more coming. I just don't have the invoice for the 3rd circulator pump that's gone this year.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's been a heating nightmare. Heating, hot water have been nothing but this year's problems in the newer part of the fire station.
Should make a motion to
Take it, I guess.
160878, was it? Should I write that right?
1608.78.
Make a motion that we spend 160878 on the capital reserve,
Building capital fund.
building.
Fire department.
Fire department building capital fund.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
Oh, just that it's an invoice and we have to pay
Yeah,
it, so.
right. All in favor?
Aye.
It's just, I guess, not necessarily saving the operations budget, because we are already over in the operations budget of the facility maintenance. So now we're gonna start into the capital fund. And then I guess the last thing, Tom received a phone call this afternoon.
I did.
All right.
Yes, I did.
The fire department put a post on Facebook earlier this weekend. And that has received a complaint. The complaint hasn't necessarily come to the fire department, and to my knowledge, not to either town.
Just recently, like this evening.
All right, so Lindsay has now received the complaint as well. We've taken the post down and apologized, so I guess just to give you a heads up that it's out there.
Yep.
If you got anything more, you talked to the gentleman involved on my end, so.
Yes. Yeah, I saw it this weekend and I read it and then called it today.
All right.
I don't have huge concerns. It's, we'll deal with it. If it goes any further. I don't know what to expect.
I don't either. I just want to get it on the forefront that it's out there.
Yep.
Happened Saturday morning, the complaint that I was notified about was actually received at the county manager's office. And in that complaint, it was the state's already been notified, but nobody knows what state agency was notified. So if you have more information, I'd love to hear it. All right. And unless anybody's got any questions, I'll stop talking there.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Chief.
Just one first thing.
That's all it takes.
All right, we got tax collector, 94,000 vehicle excise, $95 in boat excise, this is the season. Year to date is $861,764.99. Parks and Recs, Holly, do you want
Unless you have questions.
to? Nope. We got some swim lessons coming up. February. Oh, okay. Volleyball, ice rink. I saw that ice rink's down, taken down. Yep. Easter egg hunt. Man, it's coming right up.
This weekend.
Did you get an Easter bunny?
Working on the Easter Bunny, and if anyone's around Wednesday night, we are filling 5,000 eggs at the library.
Wow, that might be the one night we don't have a meeting?
No, oh no, that's tomorrow night, yeah,
Yeah.
for tomorrow night, yeah.
Concerts in the park, have bands booked for most Thursdays this summer, that's cool.
That's fabulous.
Yep.
I love that.
That's great.
Concerts in the park, would that be at the library?
Yes.
Is that where the park is?
Have you seen it?
No.
Every time I've seen it, it's been a great turnout, every
That
single
sounds great,
time.
I didn't know they had it.
Came out of a meeting here last summer. Came out when I was first on the board and heard a B-52 song playing
She
through
went
the
meandering
woods.
through the
I
woods.
wandered through the woods and came on there and it was a great time. And then I went again another time because I had so much fun the first time.
What time do they start?
It's still light out.
6:30. 6:30 to 8. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
When does it start? The second Thursday in July, I believe it's. Oh, not till, okay. And then it goes all the way to August 29th. Okay, thank you. I enjoy that, it's a lot of fun.
It is fun.
all right, moving on, item 7, new business, discussion, Chadbourne Field improvements, Massapequa Little League.
Wow. So do we want to read this one too, so people know what we're talking about?
Craig's here. Did you want to talk about it?
Oh.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry.
I'll read it.
Greg Mitchell.
Sorry.
Yeah, just so the mic picks up, so.
Howdy, Greg Mitchell, Massapequa Little League, new president. Jason is stepping down this year, so I decided to fill in. So one of my ideas was to try to use the Chadbourne Field, because last year I knew, as being a player, coach for the last few years, that field usage is tight. Trying to schedule all the different teams. So last year we had over 40 teams to schedule between baseball and softball and t-ball. So I looked at the library field, and I actually used 2 years ago, we did schedule practices over there. We knew it wasn't being used, but we were just using the little kids and they just needed an area to play. So we went over there and used that, and it's like, how come this doesn't get used anymore? So there's no Babe Ruth teams. That's the size of the field right now. So it's laid out in 90-foot dimensions for the bases, but it's pretty much all grown in infield. So we wanted to see if we could basically turn it into a little league size field. And talking with the board, we were thinking the best way to utilize that would be to turn it into a skin field, which is basically a softball field, right? So it'd be all dirt infield, and then we remake the bases to 60 foot for little league dimensions, and we'd be able to score t-ball, softball, A-ball, double A ball.
So that would virtually eliminate the Babe Ruth style,
Yeah.
which is what that was always for in the past. As I remember it, do you know how long it's been that we didn't have that?
I mean, I've been in the town since 2015, and I've never seen it there.
It's been at least 3.
It's been, I think, I'd say maybe 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, time flies, so yeah.
It does
It's,
fly,
yeah,
So that's why I'm thinking, because I thought 3, but I think maybe 4 or 5.
yeah.
And somehow a poison ivy or bamboo invasive situation, I seem to remember something about that over there.
Which we mitigated poison ivy, right?
Okay.
We did
We-
do that.
Yeah.
We did it last year, and I think we have it in the budget
In the
for this
budget.
year also.
Yeah.
I thought so
To
too.
keep on, yeah.
Wasn't sure.
What about the dugouts, the condition of the dugouts?
They probably need some loving for sure. I haven't done a thorough research on that.
And
but-
so one of
And
my things that I had on my list to bring up as other, which this just ties in, the benches at Bungana softball field are really not safe for little children to be sitting on because they're all upheaved, and if I had to guess, it's probably the same over here. So I just feel like that should be a town expense if we're if it's our field and we're letting organizations use it, we should at the very least provide them a safe place to sit. But it's my own selfish thing with children sitting.
Have we
with them.
heard anything from that young man from the Eagle Scout project? Did that,
Boy Scout, that Eagle Scout isn't doing the field anymore, but the Boy Scouts said they would take care of the dugouts if needed. They will fix them.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Community service.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
We talked about it in our previous board meeting and we've already kind of voted on, if we do get approval of it. So we'll, flip the cost of tearing it up and turn it into that dirt field there. I've been told you guys already maintain and mow the grass all summer long anyway, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, it would open up another field for our organization and let the kids and actually get some more community members
Yep.
over to that area and utilize it. That's what it's there for, right? So, I don't know if
So I guess-
anybody wants to keep it in the current conditions.
One of my concerns would be parking.
Mhm.
So on days that the library is open, what would be the situation with parking?
I mean, I don't,
Because I know
I
like
know this-
if there were like Saturday games right now,
Yeah.
I know Saturdays have been like very busy. And I think parking would be an issue. I think that would need to be thought through.
I mean, I don't know, what did they do when they Ruth played there?
They played mostly after hours. Like they would come to practice
Yeah.
as we were closing. So they were, you know,
I mean, if we could just have it as a practice field, that'd be a step up for us too, and then looking towards building to have games there too would be something in the future as well, so.
I think games there too.
Liaison to work with him. And then see what options we would have.
Yeah.
If you want me to.
I mean, I think it's great. And I think that I would like to see games played there too, not
Yeah.
just practice, because I mean,
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely. So, I mean, I don't know what the little area that people could go and park sometimes there in that little grass area, if that's supposed to be a grass parking lot or.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Used to
Everybody
park
just
along
parks
the
there.
road
Yeah.
And at that telephone switching center thing
Yep.
all along there, used to
Right.
get
Didn't
filled
we-
with cars.
Well, and they can park
Brad
here and
clean.
walk through too, right?
Yep.
Just in case.
Didn't Brad, Nickel clean out the side of the road there a couple of years ago too?
I think so, yeah.
We could take a look at it.
I would hesitate to make any changes until we find out for sure about any Babe Ruth League, because that was what it was used for. I hate to say, oh yeah, this is great, and I have no problem with this. I think it's a great idea, but I'd like to make sure that they are defunct or not. I mean, I don't know if they're done.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so if we change it and reconfigure it, and then they come out of the woodwork and say, hey, we're ready to go, this COVID's over, we're doing this.
But I think
How do we check? I mean, it's just my concern, that's
I'll do
all.
it. I'll do it.
Okay, that's just my
You don't
concern.
mind? I'll work with you on this.
I'm not against it by any means. I just want to make sure that we don't move too hastily on that aspect.
So just a quick question for messages to move.
Yes.
Are you still have Bernier Field at your disposal?
Yes, we currently use Bernier Field and we help maintain that, yes.
I don't know if there was a Babe Ruth organization still in existence, but I could be a possibility of them using the field at high school, which is regulation 9 feet.
We could redirect them there.
What's the difference between Babe Ruth and these other ones?
Little League bases are 60 feet from home to first, second, third.
Is there a way you can make it work for everything?
No.
It's
Not
like
easily.
60 and
Yeah.
90 feet worth of extra infield that you have to have.
Reagan might be
Yeah, come on, I'm like, so.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's a good question.
yeah, that's, Little League fields stay at 60 all the way through, 12 years old, like when you watched it on the World Series on the ESPN, whatever, those are still 60 feet all the way to that point. So.
And I did say Babe Ruth hasn't played for at least 5 years, and even if they decided to, they would have to redo the field also, because it's not, it hasn't been used for so long. So it's not even okay
Well,
for
and
them
was-
right now.
And was Babe Ruth a Lyman thing, or was it like a district thing?
It was,
'Cause
It
if was a
It
dis-
wasn't just Lyman kids.
Right,
No,
so if it was
it
a
wasn't.
district thing, I think
Pick
there's
up
other
games.
fields within the district, to Joe's
I think-
point, that could be utilized for that.
I just want to make sure,
Yeah.
I'm not against
Yeah,
changing it, I just want to make sure, that's all.
The field would have to redo it done anyway, no matter who uses it.
The last I knew about Babe Ruth was when my son played Babe Ruth, and it was all through Sanford. So there was, it was nothing, we didn't play anywhere around here. It was all through Sanford. So,
alright. Oh,
Is there a field at Bunganut that could support Babe Ruth,
No, it's a softball field.
or is it all Little League?
It's the same,
Or is
it's,
there a
That's a
baseball
little-
field there?
it's
There's no
the base
baseball.
sizes are for the smaller kids. That you'd have to.
It's a softball Little League, so Mass Music Little League does do softball practicing games there.
But that's it. There's
Yep.
no league play up
No, they do play games there.
Yep.
Softball, yep.
there. My kids are 40 now, they were Babe Ruth.
It's a little chilly.
Chadmore.
Just a
We
different
always parked on the
baseline.
lawn, and we parked on the road, and we had plenty of space. We didn't even use the library parking lot, really. So, just do the,
Yeah.
you know, and that was for games. Correct?
What else?
You want a motion, or?
I don't care, whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna make a motion for Tom Hatch to be the liaison on the board to work with Mass Music Little League on next steps.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Hey,
All right, congrats, no.
Thanks, Greg.
Nice
All
guy.
right, yeah, thanks for your time.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
You gonna be here to the end, or?
I'll stay for a little bit longer. Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it, thank you.
Well, yeah, you just upload that, I'll let you
Sorry.
Let's go on
Oh.
to
Never mind.
CMP poll.
Your call.
I'm sure they've probably already done it. Intersection of Shaker Hill Road and Brock Road.
Isn't Shaker Hill like almost to the
You have
Intersection.
Brad?
Yeah.
Oh, way down there, yeah, okay, oh, that makes total sense, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna say, no?
yeah, look at this already.
Yeah. Make a motion, we approve the poll permit for CMP.
I'll second.
All right, Amber, thank you. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye, there you go, CMP. All right, so let's move on to item C, appoint interim code enforcement officer, building inspector, and plumbing inspector. Jim? What's that be from?
Dayton, right?
Can you see that?
Do you guys want to appoint him or not?
Oh, maybe so, yeah, okay.
Or do you want to talk about him?
I think we need to.
Yeah, I do too.
No.
Yeah, I have no problem with this.
Yep.
Make a motion that we appoint the person on here for. Oh, Tim Roberts. Like, here's, code enforcement officer, building inspector, and plumbing inspector.
Interim.
Intern,
Interim, yes.
Interim, yeah.
did
I
say-
second that motion.
yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
you know what the schedule would be?
We won't really have a schedule, he's just gonna, any interim, like the last one is just helping us with kind of keeping things afloat.
Okay.
So unless there's like, I'm not really gonna have him do enforcement things unless there's like a health and safety, like serious emergency
Keep us going.
thing going on.
Just keep us afloat. Any more resumes come in recently?
Yeah, I can't really talk a lot about it.
Oh, no, I'm
I was
just,
gonna say.
well, no, okay, never mind.
I'm in the same boat. I'm the same way. All right, let's move on to item D, appoint Finance and Human Resources Officer.
This is based on our meeting that we had a couple weeks ago or last week, or we talked about this. We've gone through the budget, we know where the finances are coming, the funding's coming.
Is that, so here's my question though. Is this, because we think we've talked about this a couple different ways. We've talked about this a way of implementing and utilizing budget this fiscal year. We've talked about implementing, I think we can implement a job, the change in job duties and job description now, and then the financial impact comes next fiscal year. I guess that's my question. Am I approving?
Financial impact though.
Currently, this is not a financial impact today.
Right.
This is a modification to a current employee's job description to include additional duties
Correct.
today.
Right, so it's hard to go over, but yeah, there's no financial impact.
No, I'm sorry. Let me phrase this a different way. Are we expending money this fiscal year on this? Okay. Yeah.
If you want to, save it for executive session, we can talk more about it. It's up to you. Come back to it after.
I do, because I think there's details in this based on charter language. I just want to make sure I have straight in my head.
Perfect.
18.
Are we gonna go over one of these individually?
Couple pages
Yes,
ahead.
so I need a motion individually for each one.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, I make a motion that we write off real estate taxes, interest and costs for town-owned property, map 9, lot 21-B for the amount of $3,534.13.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
I make a motion that we write off real estate taxes, interest and costs for town-owned property, map 9, lot 10 for the amount of $6,121.89.
Second.
Any discussion?
It's tax acquired. You said something else. It says tax acquired. You said something else. Oh, you're reading it off the agenda and I'm reading it off the
Oh,
packet stuff.
I'm sorry, should I?
It's okay.
You're
I don't
reading that
know if
differently?
it makes a difference.
It's
up to you. I didn't,
Letters.
that's why it's different.
No, I'll read them, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye. I make a motion to write off real estate taxes, interest and costs for tax acquired property located at map 7, lot 68 for the amount of $3,679.13.
Second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to write off real estate taxes, interest and costs for tax acquired property located at map 3, lot 9 for the amount of $2,144.54.
I'll second that too.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to write off real estate taxes, interest and costs for tax acquired property located at map 3, lot 46 for the amount of $4,508.
Second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to write off real estate taxes, interest, and costs for tax acquired property located at map 12, lot 2, for the amount of $4,225.67.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
3 more. Motion to write off real estate taxes, interest, and costs for tax acquired property located at map 11, lot 39-1, for the amount of $4,015.13.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to write off real estate taxes, interest, and costs for tax acquired property located at map 6, lot 24-5, for the amount of $2,035.95.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to write off real estate taxes, interest, and costs for tax acquired property located at map 4, lot 7-1, for the amount of $650.28.
So moved.
It's a good thing going here.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
Any
raising my hand.
discussion?
I was just raising my hand already.
All in favor?
Aye. You want a few more of those, Jeff?
No.
Yeah, that's a bunch to sign. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
good.
No problem, that's what we're doing, right? Come back in. Yep, someone's gonna want to.
Yeah.
Get us in.
Well, it's personnel matters, we want to do
If you,
it. Now, that's why I want to sidebar with you for a second, if you don't mind. I want to get this with you. So we can-
Absolutely, yep, yep.
I just want to-
Do you want to start signing? Come over.
Still need to go to executive and then come out.
No.
But we can do that later.
Well, I thought you wanted to sign by.
I'm just gonna do it so I don't have him sitting around.
We start.
Yeah.
Time at the end. Oh, you have somebody in the back.
What? Oh,
Right?
Just for educational purposes,
No.
what was all that about?
We have to, you want to go ahead?
So these are tax lien foreclosed properties that are currently owned by the town. And there's taxes written on them from prior owners. So you guys have to write it off. So we can clean that, because the town's not gonna pay the taxes on those properties. We foreclosed on it. And I think the way Sue explained to me was like, either 2 or 3 years have to go by before you guys can write it off.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think you've probably done this before, because she told me she had done this a bunch of
Yeah,
while
it was
ago.
it's been a while since I've seen it actually happen.
Hmm.
But
Well, I
yeah,
feel like I did that last
technically,
year.
we're not gonna pay taxes to ourselves. That's
Right.
all.
So
So,
you write the taxes off, so now there's no lien on the property.
Well, it's
because we
owned
own
Because
it,
we already foreclosed on it.
it's our property. When the taxes were assessed, they were assessed to somebody else. And now
And
we
then
own the
we-
property, so we're swiping the slate.
Thank you.
by- Thank you.
Is that, I don't know if that's a good explanation or not.
Thanks for sitting through it all. It's a good time.
You guys, it seems like we're having a little side meetings
Tom
going
had
on.
to-
I think he's just trying
You're
to get.
signing things. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What's that?
Those would be the ones
Oh,
that are
yeah.
to stay.
What's that?
Top line on the tax.
Well, I know we are, and then
Someone's-
she just
These
left.
properties,
Oh.
next tax map update will show
All right, so I've got this one still. What's that? What's this?
I'm just gonna sign as much as I can.
Yep.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, let's rock it. Tom T.
I just got as many as we could.
Oh.
We did that. I have to keep it.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry.
We'll set up. Come on, tell me, figure it out. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
You going, Vic?
Yep.
Say hi to Vicky.
Huh?
Bring my name tag today. I started going up there like my work.
I talked to this guy for like 8 weeks in a row. It's a head on. He didn't have his uniform on, his jersey.
I got up there.
I was like, oh, no, you.
Just like muscle memory, you know.
This is good.
Hey, this shit.
Appreciate that.
Everybody abandoned you.
We're responsible.
Well, you know, things happen sometimes.
I get you. It's so good.
I can see that you were at the same.
I know, it's
Same
just,
thing
I gotta
happened.
go. Okay.
I was reaching for the door, hoping to open the door, and she was, that scared me. It's a little startling, to say the least, but, did Tom,
I wish I could just build this freaking shed right in place, right there.
want him?
I know I can build it for half a year. Yeah. It's one of those things where tell employees, it's all about how I can move my yard and move it. I gotta know how to move it.
Build it on my trailer,
That's what it has to be, hold it on a trailer, then
then we'll just put some logs under it and roll it off.
take a peek at it. And look at that building that's way down to that, those rock timbers.
You gotta take the other one out of there first. Anyway, we already talked about that.
Just unhooking the powder, the phone line.
So we're down to, huh?
You guys voted.
What do you guys wanna do? No, we're a quarter moving.
Right?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Jim Roberts.
Jim Roberts. Jim Roberts, Dayton.
Jim
Has
Roberts.
he been sworn in?
We just appointed him.
Yeah.
So we can- So
Or
no.
will he be sworn in?
I don't know. when.
Yeah, and this is
Probably
not
like
gonna
this
be like
week.
a full-time CEO either. Like,
Yeah.
You're just helping us.
It's interim
Permits,
right now.
you know, emergency type things.
Will you increase the length of time of the application process for new code enforcement officer application?
I mean, yeah, we can do
Does it
that.
end in the eight?
We can increase it as long as we want, but, you know, I check in with the board about that stuff.
Y'all.
So should we?
You gotta have his application by the eight.
I don't think we want it.
Well, we're still-
You didn't recognize with the hat on there. I was like, I know you. Sorry, I just admitted that.
But they do those like, you know, they're working, they usually do not work.
I feel like we can.
Yeah, let's do it. We can motion to go in and then.
We're doing these both at the same time.
Yeah, if you could do
All right, I make a motion that we go into executive session per MRSA 405, Section A, to discuss personnel matters, and Section C, discussion regarding acquisition of real property.
A second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Well, we once able-
I forgot, I didn't see that part. I mean, I did see it earlier, but I didn't. A lot happened between now and then.
It really, a lot happened in the past like 5 minutes. Like, ooh.
So much. I keep, and